Hey guys, check out G2A.com for cheap games. There's a link and discount code in the description down below. So as October rolls around, we're given the first Forza Motorsport 6 car pack. So this car pack includes 8 different cars, actually. You can go get this thing. I believe it's $7. I'll include a link in the description down below if you want to check it out for yourself. Anyways, in Forza Horizon 2, I did car pack reviews, basically where I went and drove all the cars, tried them out, and then gave my thoughts on the cars and the pack in general, and let you guys know if I think it's worth it. And I thought I would do that in Forza 6 today, so let's jump into it and start it out with the Volvo. So this is the 1967 Volvo 123 GT, probably, that's a very cool name. And this is a really cool, awesome, fun little car. It's a little awesome sleeper car. It has some crazy upgrades you can do. You'll see a drift build coming out for this thing sometime this week or next week maybe. I was just driving it around, having like a conversation with you guys, just answering all your guys' questions, and I didn't even realize how good this thing was at drifting. It's very fun. It's a fun little car, has some sweet upgrades, and it's something I never really knew about. Forza taught me about this car. I know some of you guys are huge fans of Volvos. Some of you guys were definitely very excited when this car was announced for this pack. So I know this thing is going to get some use from, obviously, you guys, and I also enjoy it quite a bit myself personally. It's a fun little drift car and just nice to drive, if you ask me. Let's move it on to the Capo T1. So this thing you may remember from some previous video games, also Top Gear, where I believe it caught on fire a little bit. I didn't even know Capo was still a thing, or the T1 was even still in development, but it's nice to know that it is. It brings me back to those PGR days, if any of you guys play that. I played that quite a bit, and that game was, or this car was in that game, and I think it was like one of the best cars in the game. It was really fun just to drive around and have some fun with. And it was just a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's a really great driving car. It gives you this, like, it's a really different car. I don't think there's anything really like this. That's sort of like a road car and a race car at the same time. I believe it weighs like 1,500 pounds or something like that. And it's got 500 horsepower. It is insane. The only downside with it is that there are no upgrades for it. It is a race car, so you wouldn't really expect to be able to toss on, like, body mods and lower the thing down and weight reduction, because all that stuff's already done, right? I would, however, like to be able to change the power of it a little bit and maybe toss a different engine in. I don't really know what's possible, but I wish it had some upgrades, to say the least. Anyways, conclusion on this car, it's an awesome little thing, and it is definitely fun to drive around in, and I definitely recommend you guys try it out. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, let's transition to the Toyota. This Toyota is a 2014 Toyota number 12 Rebellion Racing R1. It's also a Lola. I'm not sure what that means, but I remember that word from Forza 4, I believe, with the Aston Martin Lolas. I'm not sure what it means, but it's cool, I guess. So yeah, it's your standard LMP car, and it finished 4th at Le Mans, and it's really not that interesting to me, nothing really new, and I doubt anyone was like dying to jump in this car when they heard it was announced for Forza 6. It's a nice addition to the game, but I don't think anyone's really gonna go in and drive it for extended periods of time or do anything crazy to it. It's just a car that's now in the game, and you can have fun with it. On the complete other spectrum of the boring Toyota is the 2013 Cadillac XTS limo. You guys saw me do a drift build with this thing. It is amazing. Okay, I know people have already jumped in and started giving this car so much shit, going, why is this car in the game? It doesn't belong in Forza 6 and things like that. I freaking love it. As you guys probably have noticed by some of my videos, I don't play Forza 6 or Forza Horizon 2 the same way most people do. I'm always jumping, doing wheelies, out of map glitches, and just doing Forza experiments, trying out things that I can't really afford to try in real life, like running a Tesla out in gas, and then getting a Hellcat to compare it with. I just like doing experiments and seeing what happens. And this thing is basically the definition of that. It is absolutely ridiculous. It says, what if you can take a limo, drive it around a racetrack with a NASCAR engine in it? It is ridiculous and amazing in every single way. I'm a huge fan of these different cars, and I applaud whoever had the balls to go into the office meeting and say, you know what I want to see in Forza 6? A limo. I would imagine they would have got laughed at, but I applaud you. This thing is amazing, and I am so happy it's here. Let's transition to the oldest car in the pack from the 1930s, the Mercedes-Benz W154. It has 500 horsepower nearly. It is insane. How did something from the 1930s have 500 horsepower? I have absolutely no idea. I thought this car would just be boring just looking at it, but then I tried it, and it's insane. The nose of this car is so long, it gives such a crazy perspective when you're driving in first person mode. It's a lot of fun. It's also really cool to see all like the tires working and things like that, because this is not like a race car, or it probably was a race car back in the 30s, but it's not a race car anymore. It's sitting on these really thin tires, and it's ridiculous, and it's just crazy, and it's fun to drive around in. So although this probably won't be getting too much use, it is fun to just drive around in and just pull off some crazy stuff. I'm sure you can toss a crazy drift build on this thing and have some fun with it, because it is so light. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and I would try it out if I was you. Let's transition to a very modified Nissan 300ZX that is very different, if you ask me. I don't know very much about it, but it is just insane. I know a lot of people, once they heard this thing was in the pack, were very excited to try and jump in it and try driving it around. Like I said, I don't know very much about this thing, so I can't really talk about what it should feel like or what I think it should do. The only things that I can really mention is that it is fun to drive in this game, but sadly, again, there aren't very many upgrades because it is a race car. The same sort of story goes for the Honda RA300. It's an old F1 car. I don't really know much about it, and I don't really think people are going to use it very much. I'm sure you could get some very interesting head-to-head battles between things like this and some other previous F1 cars or some other previous genres of racing cars that are like from this sort of era, and you could have some crazy races like that. But if you ask me, I really don't think people are going to use it very much. Anyways, let's finish this off with the free car for the pack, the 2015 Infiniti Q60. I believe this is like the successor to the G37 or something like that. It's a fun car to drive around in. Again, you can toss some crazy engines in this thing. It's sitting in a twin-turbo V6 stock, and it's pretty good. But if you go toss some crazy things in, I believe I tossed in a V10 or was it a V12? It was something crazy. It was ridiculous. It's a lot of fun. It's not the best looking car if you ask me, but it is quite fun to drive around in. Also, it's a concept car. So maybe Forza, wink wink, I want some more concept cars on Forza 6. That'd be pretty fun. Anyways, these were my thoughts on the October car pack for Forza Motorsport 6. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I definitely think if you enjoy things like the limo or the Capo T1, this is definitely an interesting pack for you, and I think you should pick it up just for that limo. It is a lot of fun to drive around in. There's nothing like it in any previous Forza game, and based on that car alone, I think you can probably justify getting the pack. There are some things in the car pack that I just don't know about and can't really comment on, so if you guys could let me know some stuff about those cars, that'd be interesting, and I could have an interesting or more educated discussion on these things. Anyways, guys, I'm going to do these car pack reviews every month for every car pack in this game, so if you guys want to see that, click that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in your subscription box, and I will see you in the next one.